to my channel. So today we are going to take a look at my current planner and talk about some of the things I've been doing in my planner and basically how things have been going over the last couple of weeks. And then I'm going to be sharing a couple of ideas that I may have for future planning for 2025 and all of that stuff. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So for the bulk of the last couple of months, I have been jumping in and out of planners. You guys know I've used a lot of different things over the course of the last couple of months, starting with the ring bound bullet journal, then jumping into like a clever fox and all of these different things. So I've been on a quest to basically find or discover some things that could be less expensive and more just more functional for me overall. Obviously, aesthetics is a big thing. I like my planners to look nice. I prefer them to look neat and put together, but I also really prefer them to just be a tool. So for this last couple of months or so, I've just been working through all of these different kind of budget-friendly options, trying them out and seeing what I really like. So in the last month or two, I started using the Clever Fox and discovered that I actually really liked the Clever Fox way more than the first time I used it, which was back in 2021. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that. So this is my beloved Clever Fox. This planner gets a lot of hype. I get the most questions and things like that. It's gained some traction since the last couple of times that I've shown it, and I absolutely love this product. I love this planner. I like the daily. I think the daily is spot on with, incorporating daily goals, monthly goals, your to-do list, a schedule. Like, I think it grasps all the things that you try to categorize in your day. It is a bit of a more structured planner for sure, but I think that with like daily use, you can get used to it and you can really start to make it your own. So I've been making it my own and absolutely have loved it. I'm looking forward to filling this one up for the entire 6 months of 2024. So when we get to the last month, it will be exciting to see this planner all filled up, and I will get to then jump into the newer Clever Fox planners that I purchased that I also did an unboxing for. I'm also looking forward to trying the other daily from Clever Fox. So I haven't purchased it yet. I'm trying to wait till we get to where we're going because obviously I am limited with space. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that one too. So when I do get that product, I will definitely share it with you all. So my Clever Fox has gained some weight. If you hear my family, my son's doing his usual 3-year-old temper tantrums and yelling. But nonetheless, my planner has gained some weight, and there are a lot of different things in here, but all of the things that are in here are all things that I definitely use on a regular basis. As you can see, I have tabs everywhere. I can see that I might need to, let me see. You might hear my son. I might glue that down. But nonetheless, as you can see, my planner has gained a lot of different elements. I've got pictures in here of my family. I've got task cards. I've got all kinds of stuff that I've just kind of tucked in to this planner, and that really just makes the planner look well lived in and well used and loved for the most part. So I have already shown you guys July, so I'll show you August. And August has been working out really, really well. So let's backtrack for a second. So in July, I was telling you guys, I loved having my schedule. I loved looking at my schedule in this way, having my to-do list. I was not using this rate your productivity. This month I actually tried just using the planner as it was intended, not for every week, but some of the days. And yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea, so I chose not to pursue it anymore. But however, I absolutely love this. So because this little space here is so blank, if we're looking at it like on like a blank spread with nothing at all, you can see that it's very faint, and so you can kind of draw over that. So for August, the first week of August, I've been playing around with a spiral decks, and I absolutely love the spiral decks. I didn't think that I would like the spiral decks so much, but I actually really adore the spiral decks. It put things into a visual perspective, which I think is very useful for people who are visual people in general, people who learn better when they can see things like this. So although I do love the traditional schedule and being able to see time this way, I will say that doing this made things just so much easier, because now I was just looking at this and I was like, it put the clock, like the time that you're allotted in a 24-hour period, in a visual perspective. It's something that I can't really describe. It's just something you would have to try for yourself and then see for yourself visually how, you know, it opens your eyes. But I absolutely loved it. The only downfall to this was I have a stencil, so I don't have a like stamp or anything, and so pulling the stencil out to draw all of this became a little bit too tedious. So as much as I loved it, I kind of ditched it after this week, because I really just wanted to use you know, the planner without having to do extra stuff like drawing in extra things. I will say, so the last time I did an unboxing, I was unsure of what the paper GSM was. This is 120 GSM, and today I actually got a question about how well or if this paper can handle fountain pen. I'll be blatantly honest with you, for anyone who is wondering, anyone who may have this question in the future. I personally do not use fountain pen. However, it does perform relatively well with some gel pens and most markers. So like for instance, I wrote the months here in black gel pen. Obviously there's no bleed through because it's just, you know, basic writing. You wouldn't see it flashing through there. Secondly, I use ballpoints. I do use markers, and I think that is another thing. So I have markers that typically bleed through just about everything. So if I'm showing you this, honestly, you can see there is, you know, like bleed through showing through here. Obviously, I used the markers that I knew would bleed through, you know, this paper. Mind you, this planner isn't, and I just want to show you just in case you're seeing the bleed through and shadowing there. Mind you, this planner isn't like, you know, it isn't like a Hobonichi. It isn't on that kind of caliber where, you know, you're paying for the paper and things like that. You're paying for this system. Basically, the system is what you're paying for. This is a budget-friendly option with a great kind of system for functional planning. So paper may be a downside to this planner. However, it's 120 GSM, and it can handle, you know, your basic utensils, your basic ballpoint pens, gel pens, Crayola markers, mild liners, even the big highlighters. It can handle that. It can handle those basic things. But when we start getting into like fountain pens, I wouldn't necessarily use fountain pens on this paper unless it is a fountain pen that is primarily for like an everyday use and not a special use where it's really inky and it's just got like special ink. I wouldn't do that. This isn't the kind of thing for that. But outside of just using regular things, this works wonderful for that purpose. So that is the takeaway I hope that I could give you in terms of the paper. However, it's been working great for me and I've been loving this planner. So all these little tab thingies that you're seeing, every time we have a week, what I've been doing is tabbing off the weeks so that way I can pull that tab and get to my weeks quicker, right? So it's been working really, really well for me. In the back of this book, I do have, if you can get there, in the back of this book, I do have like my mood tracking. I never went back and did this little spread that I was attempting to do, but I've been keeping it with my mood tracker. Yeah, I wish it was kind of more so in the front, but it works. I've been definitely coming back here and checking it, and I remember to check it. So yeah, it's been a great little thing to use. And like I said, it doesn't work with a whole lot of pens and things like that, but it definitely works for your typical ballpoint pens, markers, things like that. This past week, by the way, I've been loving just having like a weekly sticky note here. This helped a whole lot because obviously it took away from needing to have a separate planner to typically do like a weekly plan. I could do a lot of the stuff that I was craving to do here and then plug in what I needed to plug in. This was the week that I actually tried the Rate Your Productivity, and I just found it to be not my thing. I think like I said, I think the planner is great, but I think that you would definitely need to play around with the different spreads. You have a page for every single day. You even have extra pages at the end of every month because there's 5 weeks of dailies in every section, and there aren't exactly 5 weeks in every month. So you have room to play around in this planner with extras. So if you want to do mock day pages where you're trying different layouts or you're testing out different things, by all means, this is the planner to do it. It's the planner to do all of the crazy things that you want to do. Like I said here for that last week, I was trying out a chronodex. Obviously, looking at this, you have a schedule right behind this, but I wanted to try a spiral decks. So as you can see, I have a spiral decks and I liked it. It worked for me. I just found it to be a little too tedious, hence I don't have like a stamp or anything, but if I had a stamp, I definitely would stamp it out and do it all the time. Like I said, this past week I tried different things. So this week I was tracking meals. Usually I just write dinners down here or what have you, but this week I was actually tracking meals for every single day, what I ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and things like that. That was cool. I just didn't like the fact that the sticky notes take up a lot of the space on the page, so I didn't pursue it for this coming week. But every so on, I've been just kind of trying different things, using my markers, using my ballpoint pen, and just seeing, like what works best. Because like I said, this is a planner that I'm using for 6 months. When this year is out, I'll get the option to jump into the newer Clever Fox planners that I purchased, and I can take away some of the elements that worked for me in here, and I can incorporate new elements in the newer Clever Fox planners that I have. So yeah, I've just been experimenting with all of this. Without all of that said, so this was my Clever Fox planner. I have also been using this. So this planner gives me mixed vibes because I really like this. I really like the coil. It had a bunch of stuff in it, but I've kind of taken all of that out to reassess how this planner needs to work. Obviously it doesn't have a cover and it's lacking storage. So there are a lot of things I wish I could incorporate into this planner to make it more, you know, like portable and functional for me, but that isn't always an option. So what I like is, for one, I like this. I like being able to do that. It brings me back to the discount system and just gives me the flexibility to eliminate having to flip a book like this, because this takes up more space. But if I can do this, you know, I'm saving a lot of space. Secondly, all my inserts are here, and that's what I love about bound books, and like what I'm starting to love about a coil is that all your inserts are there and you don't necessarily have to worry about adding anything because everything is there for you. I took out the blue pocket folder that was in here because honestly, as much as I really love this planner, that pocket folder was just a bad make. It was more of that shiny kind of just, it felt like PVC, but like a very bad PVC, and anything that I put in it would just slide around, and ultimately it was driving me nuts, so I ripped it out. I also ripped out the stickers that was in here because they weren't sticking to the little sticker sheet anymore, and I wasn't really using those stickers, so I ripped them out. And all the little pockets that I had in here, I kind of just took them out. However, I have been using this planner and absolutely love this planner. Love the fact that it has a closure, love the fact that all my inserts in here, love the fact that there's note pages up at the top. Having a dated planner definitely just helps because forward planning, duh, and then second, you can see things that you wouldn't be able to see in an undated planner unless you went through and purposely filled in everything, and even then you still forget things. With a dated planner, you at least have all your dates, special dates, holidays, and maybe a little bit of more depending on what kind of planner you have. So I've been holding on to this one because of that. And again, I was taking notes before trying this out in my Clever Fox about the spiral decks and how this actually works. So I did a little diagram so that way I could understand like how these pillars really work. And so yeah. And then for August, I have been using my monthly, not a whole lot, but I have been using it, and I've been filling it out and putting things in here. And then I've been using my daily or weekly spreads. This is the part that I really like because it has a to-do list on one side, but then you have a second to-do list on another side. And so with this, I could do the options of it all being a to-do list or doing important stuff here and then my to-do list here. This helps. I like this. There are times and days when I feel like I need more space, or I need space to write notes, and so little sheets of paper like this kind of make their way in. But I do like this. I like this a lot. Granted, I may have to back plan this if I decide that I want to continue on with this planner into my system. But nonetheless, like I said, this has been, you know, a great addition for me. I absolutely like the layout. I like the structure that it provides. I like that it is a no stress type of planner. So there's a lot of things that happen in the Clever Fox. You have your weekly reflections, then you also have your weekly dashboard or your weekly overview, and then your dailies are very much in tune with the things that you should be accomplishing throughout the week. There is a lot to catch up in that planner on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes I get to them, sometimes I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. We'll sit down and we'll discuss these things tomorrow. And here, you know, it's simple. It's a simple layout. There's not too much you have to catch up with to keep the planner, you know, running smoothly. Everything is just right to the point, and there's not a lot of extras that really go into it. So I think that's why it really works. And then, you know, I have my trackers and stuff. So yeah, this planner is definitely something that I really like. So with this, I was getting the itch because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with this particular planner. I don't know if I'm going to reset this up and do different, add different things. I don't know. I like the fact that this can be flipped upon itself. I like that there is a book band to keep the thing closed. I do like the slim profile of it not being overly chunky like my Clever Fox has now grown, and there's a lot of stuff in it. So I do appreciate a much more, compact planner for that fact, and the fact that I can put this in my bag. But like I said, there are still some things that I'm trying to work out, and with that I always end up going back into a bullet journal. So I was looking for something that was unique, but still compact, and so I was like, I could actually do a bullet journal. I have my ups and downs with bullet journaling because the fact of having to sit down and do spreads, but I decided to suck it up and just do it and then see what happens. And I wanted to keep this very simple and not overly done because I didn't want to stress myself out with the fact that I needed to set up all of these different spreads, and now I need to be checking all of these different spreads. So I actually picked up the bullet journal edition, and this had stuff in it that took away stuff that I didn't really have to worry about or fuss with, and I liked that. I don't know if I would purchase this particular book again, but there are a lot of things that I do like. So again, I've started to make this book my own. I put in some task cards, some pictures of my husband, my son, and got some little flags in the back there that just kind of I can pull from. I haven't put my name or anything in here. I didn't bother with that yet. I haven't even put in my own personal keys or wrote my intentions. I've just kind of been playing with it. However, I've started to fill in the index, and I did fill in my future log. So my future log, if I can zoom you guys in just a little bit more, my future log goes from August to November on these pages, and then they go from December to January, and then I don't have anything on this page. So the way that I decided that I wanted to do this, because there's only 200 and I want to say 3 pages, 205, 206. So there's 206 pages in this book. So the way that I wanted to do this is I wanted to have space for August, September, October, November, December, and then 1 month for the next year. Specifically so that I can kind of keep everything still kind of compact, and not only that, plan for the months that I'm actually using the book. And if I end up spilling over into the next year, then we can reevaluate with all of these future logs. But I wanted to at least give myself the rest of this year and 1 month of the next year, just so that I have space to write future events. So every month has a space where I can write the biggest things that are happening in those months, and then down at the bottom I have notes where I can specifically write little notes about certain things that may be happening in those months, and so on here. Now I left this page blank because it stops at January, and if there is actually anything that pops up and space is just not allotted within, these months, then all of that stuff can spill over into this section. Since I was using the Pocket Day Designer, I took the holidays page, I took it out, cut the coil bounding off, rounded out the edges, and just stuck it in here because, again, when you're dealing with a blank slate, you don't really have anything to go off of for important holidays or events and things like that. So I took the liberty of just taking that, since it's laminated, and I have my 2024 and 2025 overview, and so that works for me. So what I decided to do was put August through January's months all in the front. So it's a very simple month. I just have my monthly spread, and then on this side I'm just doing like simple monthly notes, reminders, and things like that. I initially was going to do a tracker, decided that I didn't want to, you know, focus on that. I didn't want to commit to doing that, so I didn't do that. And so yeah, all the months are basically up front, and I won't lie to you, this is relatively new, so this bullet journal is still a work in progress. I just finished setting it up yesterday. I've been playing around with another type of bullet journal, but I decided against that ultimately and just dove all in setting this one up. So it's relatively new. So I have not been planning. I've been planning, just not in here like I've been in the Clever Fox. So all of my months are up top, and then like I said, this is my daily page. So I am doing the very, very basic daily page where I have the date, the week, today's weather, what we're eating for dinner, my running to-do list. So I have my to-do list, my note, my to-do list continuing, another note, some things I was considering, and then the remainder of my to-do list. This is all one day. A lot of it might get migrated over. However, I had free range to use 2 pages, and if it stops here, then I'll just pick up here for the next day and continue on into the next page, because it really doesn't make sense to not finish or leave the page blank. I just want to compact and keep everything together. I started it today, so today was the first day that I sat down and really dove into using it, and yeah, I absolutely like it. It's very unique to me. I've started personalizing it. I've put all these different patches on here, and so when I did this, I was like, I know it's personal, it's going to be personal for me. And then on the back I have my husband's deployment patch with our last name, and then this heart patch. And so this is my bullet journal. It's very new. Like I said, there are a lot of stuff that is not done in it, but I think it will be very functional. So you guys, that is my little update. That is the things that I had to share with you. I know that I was posting pictures about a ring bound bullet journal. That was the bullet journal that just was not, you know, it was not doing what it was supposed to be doing for me. And no matter how many different spreads I was doing, what I was doing, it just was not working for me. I was adding up how many pages I was using. I felt like I was going to have to buy more pages, and it just didn't work out. So ultimately, it didn't make the cut. I thought to share it with you all, but then at the same time, I was just like, I just want to declutter and get rid of this stuff. And so I just got rid of stuff. But outside of all of that, this is what did make the cut. This is what I was able to bring to the table to share with you all. I do have other things that will be coming in the near future that I will be also sharing with you all. But until those things make their way to me and make their way on the scene, this is what I have for the time being. Again, I thank all of my returning subscribers and my new subscribers for stopping in, checking out the content, leaving your comments, watching the new videos that are uploaded on a constant daily basis, whenever those are. But I thank you all for all of that. And yeah, I thank you guys for just watching today's video, even if it's really long and just rambly. So hopefully you can take away something from it. Hopefully you got inspired by it. Hopefully I was able to answer a lot of the questions in regards to the Clever Fox. As always, I thank you all so much, and I'll catch you guys in my next planner related video. Bye, loves.